sculptor and printmaking, but he's also amazing on the banjo. And he makes his own banjos. So he has some of his own creations here, some of his own music, and he is going to entertain us with some excellent bluegrassy music. So, Daniel, take it away.
Awesome. Like she said, my name is Daniel Graham. We'll be playing a handful of songs today and talking through different types of banjos and different types of sounds. So a lot of this music you'll hear today is actually pre-radio, so this is the oldest form of music outside of Native American culture in our country. And so it's pretty fascinating stuff. So we'll just go ahead and get started. That's a song called Snowdrop, and we're going to play a very old song called Angeline the Baker next. Make sure this thing is tuned up right. Banjos have this odd sense of changing out of tune pretty quickly because they have a live drum head basically here. So this bridge, as it adjusts, when you adjust one string or the other, it'll fluctuate quite a bit. So oftentimes you have to tune things up. There's our culprit. A little better? All right. So this is a song called Angeline the Baker. And now also all these songs have lyrics, most all of them. And if you'd like to hear them, you can hear my wonderful wife sing them. We have a little album we recorded out of them. We'll talk about that later. So this is Angeline the Baker. Now, this is an odd one. It's got an odd kind of pitch to it. You'll hear it. It's a song called Shady Grove. And a lot of these songs that I actually pick because the lyrics on them, they have a really nice kind of simple storyline, this one included. So here we go for Shady Grove. And I would normally sit here and say, if y'all have any questions, ask away. But we're here by ourselves pretty much, enjoying this as the library starts opening up. All right. So this is one of the first songs I ever learned, really, and my wife and I sing together. And so this one is called Rocky Island. We'll go ahead and get this one going. Well, take a second real fast. I'll talk to you about this banjo. Like Melissa said, I make all my own instruments that I have, really. And this one was an experiment because it's a clear head, this part. And so it's printed. This little image you see of the woman on the boat is actually a hand-carved block that's printed on the inside. And then this outside ring is what's called a tone ring. And this normally tells or it helps kind of interpret the tone of the skin or the instrument across and then echo out the back. And so if this was made out of fabric, it would sound very dull. If it was made out of a skin of an animal, it would sound very bright. Even brighter would be a plastic head. But the tone ring here can help change that subtly. And so I made mine as a collaboration with a friend of mine out of glass. So he actually blew this glass ring on the outside that the sound comes from here, goes through the bridge, across this, and over that glass ring. And that's what makes it resonate so loudly or so clear in a way. When we get to the other banjos, you'll see the difference. You'll hear them quite dramatically different. Okay. Sound's still not quite right here. There you go. That's a little better. Okay. So this is a really old song called Fly Around My Pretty Little Miss. And if you go to different regions of the country, it actually has different names. That's one of the beautiful things about banjo and this old-time music is depending upon the story that someone tells one place, it's a different song than somewhere completely different, you know. So, all right, here we go. Fly Around My Pretty Little Miss. All right. So this is also, I'll say every song's an old song because they're all old-time music. But this is also an old song called Shooting Creek. It's from Floyd, Virginia, which is kind of a mecca of old-time music in that area. So this is one of the first ones. My first guy I met playing banjo was a guy named John Reister. We're still good friends, and he actually taught me the song when I first started playing. So. This one's one of my favorites recently, and I don't know why. It's just fun to play. And this is another one that's got a good kind of storyline to it. It's called "Sal's Got Mud Between Her Toes," and so when you hear a song like that, you're like, we're definitely in Kentucky. One, two, like what kind of story is that, right? And so the story goes that there's this lady that's kind of a wild woman. She's got mud between her toes. She's kind of everywhere, and there's a guy that comes and wants to marry her, and she's like, no way, and she's off doing her own thing, and he keeps coming back and says no, and he shows her that he's genuine, and the song ends with her going to get her hose to wash the mud out from between her toes, right? And so I just think that's so super sweet. So anyways, this one's called "Sal's Got Mud Between Her Toes." And like I said, there's lyrics to all of these. I'm not a singer, my wife is. So you have to talk to her about what they sound like. So this next one's called "Gospel Plow." It's a real old song. I always like the other stuff. This is also, the version of this comes from a guy named Clifton Hicks in North Carolina, Tennessee area. But it's a good little jiving one as well. A lot of these songs are based off of a very simple kind of structure. So there's a part 1 or a part A and a part B that kind of repeat. And a lot of these are made for old fiddle tunes. So I'd be playing along with a fiddle player, a guitar player possibly. But so it builds up for a fiddle and for parts to exchange. So you may hear parts that are slower, and that's made for the fiddle to come in, and parts that are faster for the banjo to be featured. All right. So, Gospel Plow. is another one of those ones that surely has a great backstory. Just from the titles alone, you know, they're like kind of like works of art to me. Like I love going to art galleries and you see a work of art and you inform yourself by reading the title, right? So when you read the title, you all of a sudden have this different appreciation for the artwork. And so you might hear a song, that's kind of interesting. And then you hear the title, which is Old Yeller Dog Came Trotting Through the Meeting House. And I'm like, there's definitely a story there, and I don't know why you wrote a song about it, but there it is. So, so this one's called Old Yellow Dog Came Trotting Through the Meeting House. So I'm going to change over banjos here so you guys can see that one, but also so I don't have to change a whole dramatic tuning. That's one of the reasons I brought a few here. This is one of the first ones I made, and still one of my favorites. It has a inlaid image of a woman jumping over a stool on it, which is an old daguerreotype, Edward Muybridge photograph a long time ago. And so, but everything on these is made from scratch. So every screw, every nut, every bolt, except for the head and the little tuners. Everything else I've made myself. And so, so this is the one I primarily learned on and really enjoyed. But everyone thought it was odd. They're like, "You're learning the banjo." I was like, "Yeah, but I got to make a banjo first so I can learn on it, you know." So we'll make sure we're all here in tune, and then we can get started. Like I said, these skins and these bridges adjust and change. So just the humidity in the room, I can go play on my porch and tune it up and play fine, and come inside and it'll be completely out of tune. You know, it's not like a guitar very much. All right, pretty good. Okay. Now this is the one song I have in here in my little set of songs that I'm playing for you guys today. It's not an old-time song. It's actually from the 70s. It's called Wildwood Flower. But I really enjoyed playing it, so I'm just going to throw it in there. Oh, hold on a second. I don't know if you can hear this loud enough. Sorry, let's start that one over. That one just train wrecked for a second there. All right. telling you, I never had this trouble with this song in my life. Let's get this one more shot. I don't know what's going on here. You know what? We're going to skip this one because this one is not liking me today. My hands just aren't on it today. So we'll skip that one. All right. Here we go. Classic, Wild Bill Jones. This will be good. Should have known better than to throw a non-old time song in there. All right, so this is a one my wife enjoyed and I singing called Sourwood Mountain. Well, I like hearing her sing it, but it's very fast-paced when it comes to the lyrics, and so she has to one of those things. So it's kind of entertaining as a player because you just to watch it happen. But this one's called Sourwood Mountain. It's fun. Double check here. I can hear it changing as I sit in here. Yeah. these things are very much alive, so they kind of temperamental. All right. This one is a fun one to play also. May jinx myself saying that. Called Shove That Pig's Foot a Little Further in the Fire. Once again, no idea why. Isn't that a great one? I mean, come on. Now, I've been to some banjo music festival things, and oftentimes there's no good way to end a song. It just keeps going and going until everyone's like, "You guys tired of playing? You guys tired of playing? Okay, we'll stop now." It just ends, you know? So, in classic way. All right. This one's called Red Rockin' Chair. And it's a story about divorce, which is kind of interesting. It's about things that you find value in after everything is gone. And, maybe it's not that deep, but it's a nice song about the Red Rocking Chair. That one's called Grub Springs, based off of a place, not as much of a story. The next one has a controversial story, as far as controversy goes. So this one's called Jenny Ran Away in the Mud of the Night. And they think it was called Jenny Ran Away in the Middle of the Night. And then somewhere along the line, someone got it wrong in a translation of the mud in the middle of the night or something. But that's just what it's been called. And it's interesting. These songs are a living history of our culture in some way. And so oftentimes you'll find these weird little anomalies that show you how much history is still alive. It's not just something that's written down and done, but something that gets translated over time through word of mouth or oral stories or anything else. So this one's called, I like to call it, Jenny Ran Away in the Mud in the Night. Time we got left. All right. This one's called Going Across the Mountain, and it's a story about people leaving and coming back from war. And what I find interesting about this song is that it was originally written during, I believe, the American Revolution. And when the Civil War came around, the song would resurge with different choruses or verses in it. And every time there's a major conflict, pretty much, you can see that the story kind of changes and adds pieces to it, which is kind of nice. Okay. So this one's Going Across the Mountain. So this is a fun song. Okay, the string slipping. I have this. There's a fun song my wife and I sing. It's called Banjo Pickin' Girl, and so it becomes the story of the girl. Kind of. There you are. Kind of going around the world and I don't know, singing about what you see. So, Banjo Pickin' Girl. We got time for just a couple more songs here. So I'm going to change tunings a little bit and play one here called Jubilee. My son says this is the worst part of playing the banjo. He hears me around the house playing, and he's like, whatever you do, just don't tune it. Just the repetitive time, strumming, I guess. Okay, there we go. Good enough. It's called Jubilee. So we have one more banjo, and then we'll come back to the first one to finish up. This is a gourd-style fretless banjo. This is what all banjos used to look like a long time ago. And so traditionally it was made with a gourd you would grow and shape, and actually cut off, and they put a skin head on here. And this is a fretless instrument, so there's no markers on where your fingers should go. So it's kind of like a violin or a cello or a bass. And so we'll tune this up one real fast, because this one's very sensitive. Because of the humidity outside or inside, it'll change. So no matter what I did earlier to get this set up, from it just sitting there, it's going to change. That was pretty right. There we go. All right, so this is a song called Darling Cora. Now this one, just to give it a little more volume, I have a little brass finger pick. So we'll play that too today. That's a fun one. So we'll play one more song here. Tune it up. Now you might hear some crackling. It's kind of scary. It's like Rice Krispies. This plastic head will shrink and contract as you change tunings of it. Almost there. Okay. So this one's called Last Chance. All right. Thank you, guys.